To Officer Bailey and all the Minnesotans in uniform who risk their lives every day and night to keep all of us safe, please accept our deepest gratitude for your dedicated and heroic service. In addition to protecting the safety of our citizens, we must do everything possible to protect their health and well-being. The best possible and most affordable health care for all of our citizens is far too important to become a political football in the 2012 presidential Super Bowl. Minnesota has long been a national leader in healthcare innovation, and our citizens everywhere have benefited enormously from that leadership. When my mother was hospitalized in New York City before her passing, I learned that there is no private or public hospital there at any price which provides a quality of care that is routine throughout Minnesota. Nor can one find the quality of doctors, nurses, and other healthcare providers. Those professionals, clinics, and hospitals are absolutely priceless. All Minnesotans need and deserve access to them at the most affordable prices. We can have our honest disagreements about how best to achieve that goal. Let us promise, however, that our disagreements will be based upon honest differences over policies, not on politics. Fourth, we need to transform how we provide our citizens with the best public services, most efficiently at the lowest cost. This is a clear but daunting challenge. How do we improve government services and performance while we also cut costs? Minnesota is not alone. Republican and Democratic governors and legislatures across the country are grappling with this crisis. The best of them are realizing, as my son Eric's business school professor told him, a crisis is a terrible thing to waste, and they are getting down to business. That is what we need to do here in Minnesota. Improving government's efficiency and service quality while reducing its cost has bipartisan support and leadership in both the public and private sectors. I want to thank General Mills for their support of our state's Enterprise Lean Business Process Improvement Initiative. This initiative has improved service and cut costs. It will be expanded. We need to do more, and we will. I want to combine the best private sector experience with our public sector expertise to make Minnesota government the best in the world. Our administration will lead the way. Our administration will lead the way. I've asked Lieutenant Governor Yvonne Pretner-Solon and our Chief of Staff, Tina Smith, to head this effort, along with MMB Commissioner Jim Showalter, Administration Commissioner Spencer Cronk, and Office of Enterprise Technology Commissioner Carolyn Parnell. I've asked them to immediately identify cost savings. For example, Minnesota has already spent $168 million this biennium on office technology, like computers and desktop printers. Local governments spend an additional $228 million. What if we pooled our purchasing power to get a better deal for Minnesota taxpayers? We will examine every area of expenditure and contracting to find ways to cut costs while improving services. Longer term, we need transformational change to improve the productivity of government and bring it fully into the 21st century. The opportunities are huge, and the savings can be enormous. This reform will succeed best if we work in partnership with our state employees. The good ideas for improvements and efficiencies often come from the people who work in government every day. Treating them with the dignity and respect they deserve will be essential to our success. Fifth, and most important, we need our business leaders to believe in Minnesota, to invest in our state, and to create more jobs for the thousands of our citizens who want to work. We also need better working partnerships between our state's businesses, colleges and universities, other civic organizations, and state and local governments. We all agree on the need to create more jobs. Putting more people to work throughout Minnesota is essential to our economic recovery, to our social well-being, to a better future for all of us. I'm pleased to report to our fellow citizens that the legislature and I have found areas of cooperative agreement. We agree that our state's permitting and approval processes for new and expanding businesses have been taking unreasonably long, and we are united in our determination to shorten them while protecting our citizens and our environment. Two weeks ago, I signed an executive order to begin that streamlining process immediately. DNR Commissioner Tom Landwehr and MPCA Commissioner Paul Alston have been working with legislative leaders of both parties to put those and other improvements into legislation. I thank Speaker Zellers, Majority Leader Koch, and the other legislators who are working with us to achieve this progress. May it characterize our cooperative spirit throughout the rest of the session. I hope we can find the same cooperative spirit to pass the statewide bonding bill, which I proposed last week. Those investments will help build a better Minnesota for generations to come. National economists, commenting on continuing high unemployment, say a crucial factor holding back job growth is that construction has not yet revived. That is my bonding bill's initial purpose, to put up to 28,000 unemployed Minnesotans in the private sector construction industry back to work. And through those long-term improvements to benefit all Minnesotans for years to come. I want businesses everywhere in Minnesota to feel wanted, valued, and appreciated by everyone in our administration. I've asked the heads of our departments of Agriculture, Natural Resources, the IRB, and the Tourism Office to work closely with businesses in those important industries which are so vital to our state's prosperity, especially in greater Minnesota. I want to thank Jason Thormodson, an 11-year-old future farmer and mechanic from Medelia, for reminding me yesterday how very important agriculture is to our state. Deed Commissioner Mark Phillips will have overall responsibility for our business outreach, and I've asked him to revitalize the former Star Cities for Economic Development program, which I inherited as Deed Commissioner from the administration of Governor Al Quie. Governor Quie is here today, and I want to honor him for his outstanding service to our state as our congressman, our governor, and our leading citizen. Governor Quie. Governor Quie's Star Cities program trained local officials, chambers of commerce members, college and university presidents, and other civic leaders to work in partnership and lead their city's economic growth efforts. Those local economic development teams need to be better supported by state officials today, and I promise that their efforts will be given the highest priority by everyone in our administration. I will be personally available to assist them in any way I can. I thank Representative Fabian for asking me to join him and Senator Stumpf at North Star Agri-Industries' recent groundbreaking in Halleck. I appreciate Representative Hamilton and Senator Magnus inviting me to Jackson for AGCO's exciting expansion, which will bring over 100 new jobs to our state. I stand ready to go anywhere in our state, nation, or world where there are jobs to be gained for Minnesota and to assist the businesses who provide them. And I am especially grateful to our super volunteer, senior advisor Kathy Thunheim, and my good friend Tom Borman, who will help me reach out to Minnesota's business leaders. Some will criticize me for proposing next week to ask those successful businessmen and women and other wealthy Minnesotans to pay higher taxes. I ask them for their forbearance during this fiscal crisis, which I did not create, but inherited, and now, with you in the legislature, must solve. I ask Minnesota's business leaders and other most successful citizens to give us 2 years to turn this ship of state around, not by savaging essential public services upon which you and your employees also depend, but rather by transforming the ways in which government operates here in Minnesota. And with your help, to reduce the need for those services by putting people back to work throughout our state. My father's favorite quote was from the Bible: "To whomsoever much has been given, of him shall much be required." You, our state's most successful citizens, have achieved so much. I ask you, please, to help our state, your children and grandchildren, your friends and your neighbors, to regain what you and I have enjoyed so much and benefited from so greatly during our lives here in Minnesota. Please, help us restore Minnesota to greatness. I invite you to contribute your expertise to help us regain that greatness. Adopt a school, volunteer in one of them, teach a social service agency how to become more cost efficient. Help the legislature and me to balance the state's budget more wisely. Contribute your ideas, your talents, and your wisdom. We need you now more than ever. In closing, I ask all Minnesotans for the same forbearance. I ask not to be finally judged by the budget I am required to submit next week. I ask you to remember that I was not given a blank slate upon which to write my best proposals for our state's future. Neither was the legislature. We were left a horrendous fiscal mess, a decade of economic decline, and state agencies poorly managed. All of that must be turned around. All of it will be turned around, but not by tomorrow, and not entirely by the end of this legislative session. We will, however, turn it around and move Minnesota ahead once again to reclaim our former greatness. I approach this monumental assignment with the utmost dedication and determination. I know Lieutenant Governor Pretner Solon and our exceptional cabinet do as well. I believe our 201 legislators feel that same awesome responsibility. I urge them to approach their difficult decisions as I do, with caution and care. We will all be properly judged by the effects of our decisions and actions on the lives of our fellow Minnesotans this year, next year, and for years to come, by whether we make their lives better or worse. Together, we must shape a strategy that will create a better Minnesota for all of us and for all who will follow us. We must reverse Minnesota's past decline and return our state to a path of growth, success, and prosperity. We can, we must, and we will, by all of us working together to get Minnesota working again. May God bless the state of Minnesota and the United States of America. Thank you.